good ones bad, yeah, they're really always like this. We don't know who's who, but at least we know who Mike is. They love to complain, they got sports on the brain, and they frequently drive each other insane. It's the good and the bad and the Mike. The good and the bad and the Mike. The good and the bad and the Mike. It's the good and the bad and the Mike.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of The Good, the Bad and the Mike. I'm Oisin, that's Kane.
Oh yeah.
And that's Mike.
Hello.
Alright, solid. That song keeps getting stuck in my head. I say it every week. I'm going to keep saying it every week.
Aye.
Yeah, I like to sing along to it in my head while it's going. And it's so good. But anyway, just straight off the bat, we've got some housekeeping points. The first one is that with
Housekeeping.
Nice. If you're gonna start doing that on every new segment, shout out. So the first one is that with the Premier League season starting next week and NFL preseason starting next week, and just a lot more sports happening over the weekend, we're gonna start recording on Monday evenings and posting on Tuesdays, so that we can cover all the weekend of sport. Yes, that's what I wanted to say. And the second one is that with the Premier League starting again, we're going to start a Fantasy Premier League. So the details for that will be in the description of the podcast on whatever platform you choose. Join along, and we'll probably give updates each week, depending on how well the league's going and how long Mike lasts in it. Who knows?
Fair warning: if I finish above you will be ridiculed for the rest of my life.
That is very fair.
I was this close to beating Mike in the Euros and forgot to do the final, so Mike beat me.
I had a bad week too. That was it.
But I still stayed above you until the final.
He had about, I think, what was it, 3 players playing in the final? Something stupid.
About
like that.
3, yeah.
Because he forgot to change his
That's
team.
how bad the week 2 was.
But yeah, but I still should have beat you.
You didn't.
That's the fucking problem.
But what matters is I beat you both. And that's okay.
Technicalities.
Where did you win, Ocean? I'm trying to remember here now.
No, I don't think you did.
I didn't. I came second after behind friend of the pod, Joe.
I believe this podcast view is if you're not first, you're last.
Okay, I was just
unless you're above Mike,
then
you're okay.
Oh, okay, so I'm okay then because I came above.
You're okay.
Yeah.
So you're not okay then, Keen.
I didn't finish above Mike. I forgot about
just
that.
Discussed that 2 seconds ago.
Discussed it, and in my head, I was like, I finished above Mike, surely, and I forgot that. The final lap.
Yeah.
It's a new season, new time, new chance to redeem yourself. If anyone can do it,
It's
I
so
can do
long
it,
though.
But, you know,
like it's 9 months of me needing to pay attention to something weekly. I'm going to forget so
If
often.
only there was a weekly sports podcast that could remind you.
yeah.
I mean, if you remind me on a Monday, I'm going to forget on a Friday.
Well, just do it on
On
the
the
Monday
Monday.
then, and just risk all
But then
those
what about
training
injuries?
injuries.
Yeah.
You're better off risking them than just not doing it at all.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I'm just not going to do it at all if I can't do it right. That's
Calm it down there, Ryan. All right then. So let's just jump straight into the news. Who wants to go first? Mike, let's go to you.
All right, so first one. Swansea City Stadium has changed its name as of today. It is no longer the Liberty Stadium, and I'm a big fan of the name, boys. It's on the category of Washington football team. The new stadium is called Swansea.com Stadium.
Oh, for God's sake.
oh my god.
I kid you not. That is the new official name.
Who had that
Fans
idea?
are furious. I have no idea. I'm just loving the name.
That is quite atrocious.
And
Yeah,
we're at
that's
the
a shocking
Swansea.com Stadium.
They would have been better off just calling it football stadium.
They
I would
probably
love
should
that.
have.
That's Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Swansea
fuck.
don't-
Okay, I'm trying to find the name of what they call a swan's nest because I want to call them that, and I don't think there's a name for one, which is
A
very
nest?
irritating me.
While you
Is it
look
a
that
nest?
up, I'll move on to the next piece of news. Come back to us when you have that, though, Ian.
I don't think there is one.
I'm
Okay.
not
Can we have a
surprised
fact
there
checker?
isn't one.
We need a fact checker for this.
I'm
Yeah.
unsurprised there isn't a name for a swan's nest, to be honest.
All right, keep going. I'm gonna have a look here.
All right, so one of my bits of news is that the Olympics is now finished, and Kelly Harrington won gold in the women's lightweight boxing right at the end.
Give a round of applause there.
You
Clap
love
for
to see it.
she. Clap for Kelly.
At all.
You love to see it. I saw actually On Post made a painted post box near her house gold.
I did see
Yes, that was quite cool.
That was pretty cool. Did you
Yeah.
did you watch the fight in the end, Keen?
No, I did not. Meant to go back RT Player watch it because of issues with me forgetting why I had my alarm set.
It's so funny.
Yeah, it's kind of stupid. No, I might see if I can get it though. If not, I know there's like 5-minute highlights on YouTube from Eurosport. I'm just gonna watch that if I can't get the full fight. So,
Mike, did you watch it?
No, I did not.
Well,
Oh, goddamn,
you
Mike.
missed a good fight. It was a close fight. But
I
she
had
won
a
it.
match, so I needed to sleep.
Excuses,
fair.
excuses. But it was a good fight, and she won
Yeah.
unanimously in the end. It was close, but she fought really well, and yeah, delighted.
that's very fair.
I had one other piece of Olympics news that I'm going to discuss. I know you had some more Olympics news, I think, Keane. So I'm just going to
Yes.
mention mine first, and then
Go on ahead.
baseball, softball, and karate are all out of the
Oh,
Olympics
yes.
for 2024.
Ooh.
I saw actually,
So-
just on a completely aside, I saw there was some upset because one of the karate fighters was disqualified in, I think, the final. Like, as he was leading quite well, and it was for a kick that was too hard.
Did he sweep the leg?
No, he kicked your man in the face,
High
but it
crane.
was too hard.
It was the crane.
I
The
think
crane
kicked
move.
him.
Was he blindfolded?
No,
Was he
he wasn't.
blindfolded?
But yeah, he was from, I think he was from Saudi Arabia, and he was disqualified because he kicked too hard. But yeah,
I feel like, yeah, that seems...
Yeah.
That not the point? Can they not win by KO then? Is that not a thing in karate? I've never watched karate.
I mean,
I don't know.
I like
and
to
actually,
think.
I believe that it was only in. There's no. One thing I read that was that there's no actual governing body for karate, so each country or area has different governing bodies and different rules, and it was only brought into the Olympics because it was held in Japan, apparently.
Japan, yeah. They were,
Alright,
yeah,
you
they're
think
big
the
into
announcers
martial
are
arts.
told if there's a knockout, they just have to scream KO.
Fatality.
Final round! Fight!
That's it. Commentators finish him.
They just stand there just wobbly. It's like, finish him!
I'd be so much more inclined to watch it. To be fair.
Yeah.
So what do you
Like,
think,
did you
boys?
see-
With
actually-
baseball in, do you think we can make the Olympics if we set up the baseball team?
Baseball, I
Mr.
was
Olympics.
surprised because of baseball is a decently worldwide sport with like good participation outside of America. So I thought that would stick into it, but I don't know. Wasn't
Yeah, I
being
was
good enough.
surprised they took it out as well, to be honest. But yeah, maybe it just didn't get the views. The fans obviously didn't flock to the stadiums for it, so
No.
you can't blame
They
them.
didn't flock to any stadium for anything. Was that
That was the joke. That was the joke.
your joke?
Yeah, but
I
you know,
don't know anymore.
just a bit of
All right, I
a
was
bit of a whoosh.
yeah.
I thought it was a good one, but you know.
I enjoyed it.
just clarifying.
Keane,
Explaining
you
the joke
had-
makes it funnier.
You had
Just on that,
Olympics
wait,
news?
before we leave, on that point of subjects of new sports,
Oh, yeah.
Joe, the sort of, I think she's Japanese-born one who won bronze for Britain, Sky Brown, the skateboarder,
Yes.
13-year-old. She plans apparently on doing surfing and skateboarding in the Paris Olympics.
I mean,
But there's a small logistical problem with that.
oh yeah.
They plan on doing the surfing in Tahiti, which is
What?
very far away from
Yeah,
Paris.
that seems a bit flawed.
I mean,
Yeah, so that's what she announced today, and her dad came out and was like, I mean, she's gonna try. I don't know if they'll let her, but we'll see what
I
happens.
mean, don't we have weight machines? Do it on a weight
Just
machine.
toss all the weight machines.
What they're built for.
Fair. But all right. So yes, on to the other news. So we're all aware of this, that the injustice that happened, not only to our own Natalia Kyle, but also to the number 1 seeded German going into the equestrian in the modern pentathlon.
Yes.
Now, I like the modern pentathlon. I think the way they set up the final race is very good to watch, and we get that in a bit. But the second last event is show jumping. and they've always done it the horse. And in this Olympics, there was one bad horse
Yeah.
that got assigned to Natalia Coyle and to the #1 ranked German. And this horse apparently didn't like to jump, which is a bit of an issue when you're show jumping.
It was.
Because Natalia to drop to 19th and the leading German to drop to 31st, I think,
Jesus.
as a
It
result
was-
of how bad they were.
It was quite devastating to watch because you could see that
Yeah,
girl was visibly
just wasn't getting up.
Because I think she finished 4th in Rio, and then
She
she
did,
was
yeah.
just doing phenomenal before she got her
Yeah,
randomly assigned horse. It was just complete randomness. She got this horse.
like they've been doing it that way for years. I can't imagine this may be the most prolific issue with it, but I can't imagine it's the first time
Yeah.
they've had
No.
issues
I
with the
just-
horses.
I do find it funny that that's how they pick the horses. They pick one
Yeah,
that's just, not going to
Makes
jump.
no sense.
I
But,
heard Natalia talking about it afterwards, and she was saying that she had seen someone, I think it might have been Azerbaijan,
Right.
but whoever, one of the other competitors on that horse, and she'd seen the horse refuse to jump for her. And she said from that moment she knew it was going to be tough because if they get away with it once, they're going to keep doing it.
Oh yeah, true. On the modern pentathlon, do you ever watch it? I really like the format of the final. I think we discussed the pentathlon before. It's essentially all the skills needed if you're a fighter in the 1700s. So they've like fencing, swimming, horseback riding,
All the important stuff.
and then
That's it.
shooting while running.
Actually, swimming for a war against Atlantis.
Exactly.
Yes.
But with the final race is done really well, where they have the competitors lined up with the leading points leader in first, second, and goes back, and they've then adjusted for time. So the
Yeah.
winner goes, the person first goes off, and then however many points the other person was behind, they go off that many, I think, seconds behind, and then it's just first over the line gets the gold.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, so it's like they do 3 laps of 800 meters with like a pistol shooting break in
That's a
between each lap.
Yeah.
Chances to catch up and overtake people. It's actually very interesting. I think it's one of the better final races.
It sounds quite interesting to watch.
Mm,
Yeah.
no, it is. Because I think I watched the one in Rio.
But just when we're going on it, the coach was then sent home, wasn't he, for punching the horse?
Yes, somebody punched a horse.
Jesus Christ.
And then I believe there's outrage on it, and I think there's calls for all of the horse events to be basically cancelled from the Olympics because of animal cruelty.
Oh,
Because
Is what I've been heard. Really? Because that guy punched a horse, yes.
Jesus Christ. I mean, that's
I
a
mean,
bit of an
other horse
overreaction
events
from
go
him.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you don't have
Yeah.
people punching them. I think
That's
that's
fair.
To be fair,
more of a
he-
him problem
didn't-
as opposed to an Olympics
Yeah.
problem.
Yes. Fair enough. I don't think people go out there saying, I'm going to the Olympics so I can punch a horse.
Yeah,
Just
that's
kind
fair.
of
that's
spur
fair.
of the moment. I don't know
I've
if
been
he's having a
training-
bad day or if I was having a bad day.
I've been
That's
training
it.
for my entire life just to go to the Olympics, just so I can punch a horse on the world stage.
That's it.
What I
He's
want to
been
know is did the horse punch back? Because like I wouldn't
Ooh.
punch a horse because if they wanted to punch you back, you'd be dead. That's just how it is.
Can they punch though? I know like they can kick
Like,
behind
think
you,
it's
but as
a
long as you
kick.
just don't stay behind them, you're
Well, I
fine.
assume that they can like lift their like
Oh yeah, they can
Oh, yeah,
rear
they
up
lift
and
their
then-
legs.
Yeah,
And then
gives
they
you
kinda
a
just do
1-2.
the
front legs.
Yeah.
Like
The jab, they can jab. I
yeah,
don't think
they get the
they
jab
go
going.
They wouldn't go for a sucker punch.
No, not their move.
Not like
Yeah.
the Azerbaijani coach.
Horses love a good 1-2 jab.
Do we know? I really want to know. Did he walk up to him like a man and punch him in the face, or was he a
Nah,
prick and
it was
punched
the
him in the
back.
side?
It was the back.
Jesus Christ, what a
Yeah,
scumbag!
From what I saw from the clip, it was the back, and it was as the horse was moving away. He kind of did the swing
Oh,
as it's moving away, so it's not like he ran up and got a clean hit.
Did he just
He's
yell,
swinging
"That's
at
it! You better run!" after the
yeah.
horse?
As
That's
he was
it.
running away.
I hope he did. All right, let's move on to.
That's
Okay, hang on. Just before we do,
All right.
there is no name for a swan's nest. We can just call them a swan. nest.
Yes, I had
Yeah.
also googled
Figured
found
that
the
out.
same-
Did
found
you
the
not
same thing.
trust me?
No,
No.
I
Oh,
didn't.
frick.
All right, so moving on to. Before we move on to football news, does anyone else have other sport news that they want to discuss?
Yes. Did we talk about the marathon
Oh yeah.
and what happened?
So
What I think doesn't matter
That's not true, kid. It's just
anymore.
I don't trust you using Google
Yes.
to find the right
Yes,
answer.
that is very fair.
You're just not the fact checker because we don't trust you on Google.
So-
What are you, the fact checker?
I didn't
I
say I
trust
was the fact
Oisin.
checker. I was
I
just
trust Oisin more
double
than you,
checking
Keen.
your facts, Keen. I wouldn't trust me.
He's fact checking your facts. Yes,
Yeah.
fact check your fact checking.
Yeah,
but-
exactly. Who watches The Watcher, Keen? Me.
Don't need to watch
That's
a
who,
watcher.
apparently. Sorry,
Right.
Mike. Go on. You were talking about the marathon.
Yes. So, yes.
sidetracked.
What is your positions on what happened in that marathon? Are you for
Oh,
what he did, or are you
that's-
against?
That's a scumbag.
I full
Oh.
on condone his everything to win.
Do you
You're a
want to
competitor. You want to
explain
win.
it just in case anyone
Yeah,
Yes.
you have
hasn't?
to explain what
Yes,
happened first.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, the French marathon runner during the race knocked over all the water while running, so no one else could pick them up at the water station.
He didn't.
No,
he didn't
he
knock
had-
over all the water. He knocked
Yes,
over
enough.
all but one, and then he took that one for himself.
Now, he has, I have heard someone was saying he has come out and said that wasn't the case.
I think that's bullshit. There's no
I
way
think
that
he
was
said-
an accident.
Yeah, he said that they were just all so slippy.
Da,
Oh
fuck
my!
off.
Oh my God! I'm watching it here. Oh
It's
my
so
God!
obvious, right? It's so obviously on purpose.
He just keeps going, and then you can see him just grab that last one. Like, it's so obvious.
Yeah, he's a fucking scumbag.
Okay, hang
Hey.
on. They have slowed it down a bit, and he is trying to grasp, but it's just so shocking
Eggs.
that he gets the last one. If he got any of the other ones, then there's a
That's
bit
some
of that.
Or if he knocked over the
Heads.
last one as well and didn't get any for himself, then I'd be like, okay, yeah, that was a mistake. He didn't need to do that.
Still scumbaggery if he still knocks them out and say, I don't need water, but no one else gets the
Okay,
bonus.
okay. So
No,
at
no, it's
least
still
in
a
a
scumbag, but I'd be more inclined to believe it's an accident.
at least in a post-COVID world where they can hand out the water, this doesn't become an issue unless he just sits there and as they keep handing it out, he just slaps them out.
slapping
No,
down.
no.
He's got to build up a big enough lead, and he just robs the bottle and
Yeah.
pours it on the ground as he runs past.
He obviously hired crowd people to interfere.
They have
I
get back, coach. Get back.
Yes.
start slapping his hand away whenever he tries to slap the water. It's like, no,
Yes.
get back.
No water for use. Just ties a string and drags them along.
Oh, that was
But yeah,
fantastic.
gold medal in Shithousery for him.
You do
Adam
what you gotta
Fan.
do.
Ends justify the means.
Nah, he's a fucking
That's all I'm
scumbag.
saying.
I wonder, did he even place? Was it worth it?
I think
He won,
I
did
think
he
he
not?
won it. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, because he was in the
Yeah,
lead
I
after
thought
the
he won it.
So
time,
much better.
and it was.
Yeah,
to-
He wasn't in the lead.
Was he
No, Elliot Kipchoge won it. I remember reading this.
I thought he won it.
No,
This
that's
could be-
disappointing. I thought he won it too.
Kipchoge
the
is
ends-
an absolute
The
animal.
ends don't justify the means, Mike.
Did he get a
Yeah.
medal though? He
I'm-
got a
I'm-
medal.
I'm looking it up. I don't think Oisin would fucking trust me.
No,
I
I
really
couldn't-
don't.
couldn't
Actually,
bear
that is a
looking
good
this
point.
up, I believe in
Did
you.
he actually not win it? Oh, shit, if Keane's the
No,
one
he did
saying
medal.
it.
He what?
Oh,
He
I was
didn't
gonna
medal.
say since Keane's fact checking, we sure he's correct.
Yeah, fucking prick. Maybe he did. Who the fuck knows? I know, but not telling you.
It's alright, kid. I'm not gonna look it up. All right, we move on to. Oh, go
I
on.
have one more. After he's giving me shit for my lack of Polish sports update, I've actually done research. So, since this time last week, Poland have
Okay, he
won.
came 17th, just so you know.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's bad. Poland have won 3 medals as far as I know. So,
As far
congrats
as you
to
know.
the.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're supposed to fucking
I?
know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm translating as much as I can here.
Learn
The
Polish.
women's
okay,
4x400
They won 14
relay.
medals, Mike.
I'm saying this week. I don't know how
Oh.
many they've won. In
14
the
in
time
total.
since our last episode, yes, but on my time last episode, we have the women's 4x400 relay. They came second.
Correct.
Congrats. Their women's K4 500 meter rowing. They got the bronze medal. And the women's quadruple sculls. They got another silver. So
Fair play.
congrats, Poland.
Poland.
Fair
The
play,
nation of Poland. After it started off
That's
really
it.
bad, they sent half their swim team home.
Oh, yes, we don't talk about that, though.
That's not talked about in Poland.
Check with Poland, it wasn't our fault.
All
Because
right.
there is actually just on that because you mentioned the relay. I know the Americans messed up the
Ooh,
relay in the 4x1, but there's a lot of people talking about Italy looked a bit too good in their 4x1. They had a good sprint in the Olympics, is just what people are saying. A bit too good, maybe?
There's
So,
a
do you think
great-
Chiellini has
great
something to do with
sprinting
this?
country.
Potentially.
I mean, it's going Rome. It's going Rome.
It's going Rome. As we all know. Speaking of it's going
I
Rome,
know, they did
let's move on to football news.
Yes,
That was seamless.
work away.
I'm actually pretty proud of that one. That was pretty seamless.
that was solid.
Cheers. Cheers. So the first...
It's worth the last now that you brought it up.
No, I just
Yes.
had
You
to make
ruined
sure.
it.
Had to make sure that
You
everyone
ruined
understood
it.
how seamless
We're spending-
it was and
we're
how
spending
proud I
more
was.
time
yeah,
now.
it's completely not seamless anymore. But at the time, it was seamless. All right. So the first bit I have is that we had the Community Shield over the weekend, with Leicester beating Man City 1-0. Big start to Leicester's season. Not a great start to City's season, because I think they would have been expecting to win that one. But, you know.
I mean, probably.
Grealish's trophy hunt has to wait a little longer.
Yeah.
It will.
Feel
He
sorry
did.
for him.
Was on the bench at the time, and I think he came on at some point, but I don't know how he did. I also, speaking of Grealish, saw that I've actually got some seamless transitions here. So speaking of Grealish, I saw that Villa were actually willing to pay him more than he's earning at City, but he wanted to go to play Champions League and win trophies.
They couldn't pay him enough gold, apparently.
Pretty interesting. I didn't think Villa would be able. Well, no, I knew they'd be able to afford it, but I'm surprised that they were offering more than City were offering, given that City were paying 100 million for him.
I guess because, he's one of their own.
Yeah. He'd be
And
their
that
one
kind of thing
superstar
they
that
said.
they can maybe afford.
The club legend.
Fair.
He's one of our own. But I understand there are a lot of the fans that are on the fence of this. Are they happier now? Villa are in a better position with Grealish gone if you look at the players put in.
They've brought in
How
some
much
good players, and that
they
was
pay for
actually
him?
the next point that I wanted to make. Was Danny Ings has gone to Villa
Yeah.
for apparently, according to Transfermarkt, 35.2 million euro. But the man's only 28. I thought he was older than that. I don't know. Yeah, I was. surprised.
I really like that. He was just super unfortunate when he
He
was at
was
Liverpool.
very unfortunate at Liverpool with injuries, but he's actually, like I saw this great stat about Danny Ings. I really like him as a player, and since the start of the 1920 season, Danny Ings has scored 31 non-penalty goals, and the only two players to meet or beat that are Salah on 31 and Kane on 35. So that's
How many of those Kane goals were actually his?
that's yeah. You never know. He swore on his daughter they were all
Daughter's
his, so it's
life.
fine. Ings also turned down a 4-year deal at Southampton, which would have made him the highest paid Southampton player in history. Which is also quite interesting.
That's
but he wanted a new
interesting.
challenge. So yeah, that's all I have to say on the Danny Ings. I really hope he does well. I really like.
I hope so too. I have him
like
on the
Villa, to be
fancy.
fair.
So selfish reasons. I hope he does do well.
I went to bring him in on fantasy over the weekend and then realised that I'd made a fantasy team in the Euros and he was already in it. And I was like, I know what I'm doing.
Note about people who make a fantasy team too early.
Yeah, I know. I just got bored during the Euros because I'd already made my changes for 1 week and went, all right, I'll just make my.
He
Yeah,
needs
Premier
more
League one.
fancy.
Yeah. It's not an
Um,
addiction if he's winning.
Exactly. And since Harry Kane was in that last stat I brought up,
Oh, these
I'm
transitions.
not gonna talk to him yet because actually I want to talk about Lukaku first. So
The pump fake.
so on
Bad transitions,
strikers,
Oisin.
on strikers being transferred, we have Romelu Lukaku to Chelsea. I think his medical was today actually. I
It
think.
is.
115 million euro.
That's so much money.
Five
What's he
Considering-
now? He must be old enough.
Considering that
not
they
that
sold him
old, I
for
don't
30 million.
think.
30 million he left.
He's also
He's
on.
28. Fuck.
Yeah, he's the same age as fucking Danny Ings.
He's a
5-year contract.
day younger than me.
Jesus Christ, Kane.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
Literally a day younger than
He's
me.
a day younger than you, and he's
He's
just
really-
signed a 5-year contract worth about 12 to 13 million per year.
what are you doing with your life, Keith?
Yeah,
Making,
come
making a podcast that averages about 15 viewers a week.
I think that's being optimistic.
Hey. Not many North Macedonians like Romelu Lukaku like they like Keane.
That's true.
I
That's
mean-
very true.
Our analytics are different. As long as he has one that likes him.
Lukaku is now the highest paid player at Chelsea, which is unsurprising given that contract. But I think he's a fantastic buy for them.
So what's that mean for Tammy Abraham then?
He's on the way out. It's currently between, I was reading this earlier, Arsenal and Roma. I think it's Roma, they said. Atlanta were interested, but they have pulled out now. But I don't know. I just find it hard to see Arsenal buying a striker when they've still got Lacazette, Aubameyang, and
Oh my god,
Eddie
why are
Nketiah.
Chelsea buying him back, considering how bad he was the first time they played for him?
It's
He played
not-
for them.
Because
it
he's
wasn't that-
become insane. He was insane. He was
It wasn't
very
even
good
that.
at
Really?
Everton.
It was Mourinho. At that time, wasn't it? Salah was there. Lukaku and De Bruyne all left.
Salah didn't play at Chelsea though, really, didn't he? I
He
read
did.
that he was like
No, he
buried on the
played.
depth chart.
He didn't play
Well,
a
he
huge
was-
amount of games, but he was like at the club in the first team.
But he was buried.
Oh yeah.
Same reason Lukaku was buried.
Yeah. I hope he does well, but I don't like Chelsea. Sorry, Joe. So I don't hope they do well. I'd like him to do well, but Chelsea to just get relegated.
Not well enough.
No, yeah, I hope he doesn't do well enough to save them from relegation. But he's like the standout player on that team, and then Chelsea can. I don't even care if they get relegated. If they want to finish mid-table, that's fine too. But
We'll take a
condone
mid-table,
this.
but no higher.
yeah, I'm not
That's,
going to be greedy about this. They could finish mid-table.
To be
that's
fair,
fine.
I do enjoy N'Golo Kante. I do like.
I
him
do
well.
like
Ah,
Kante as
that's
well. That's true.
that's the one redeeming quality of Chelsea. Is if you win,
It
you just
is,
get
yeah,
that Kante
100%.
smile and everything's okay.
You know, everything's gonna be okay in the world.
Speaking
Definitely gonna
of,
play him
I'm
on my
not gonna
fantasy
lie.
football.
that's what were you not going to lie about, Mike?
I was gonna like if someone Kante told me I broke dislocate both my kneecaps, I'd be okay with it because Kante's smiling and with heavy lessen the load and the devastating.
Wait, he broke
injury.
his kneecaps or your
No,
kneecaps?
My
I think he
kneecaps.
broke both of Mike's kneecaps.
Oh, okay.
I'd be
yeah.
okay with it. I'd be, you know what? It was gonna happen anyway.
I'd be
Okay,
okay
go.
to get to meet N'Golo Kante.
Why would you be there?
Why
I
would
meant
he
like
be
if
there?
he to my knees, then I'd be okay with
Oh,
it.
okay.
Just watching
I'm
from
just
the
thinking-
sidelines.
Take his knees.
Go on, Kante, you could do it.
Whoever he did take your knees, he would give them back straight away. That's
He would.
That's how
He'd give
nice
him.
he
He'd
is.
give me his knees. That's how good Kante is. He'd give me his knees.
Speaking
Where's the
of,
transition now?
yeah.
well, we were talking about Tammy Abraham. So speaking of English strikers, Harry Kane. Boom, fucking nailing it.
Ocean, you're getting worse at this.
I'm
You're
kidding.
becoming desperate.
I mean, you're making it very difficult when you're talking about N'Golo Kante breaking people's knees. So, try to get seamlessly out of that one.
N'Golo Kante knees are on human legs. Harry Kane. Boom.
No.
No, very easy. Very easy. We could talk about N'Golo Kante, you know. He's going to come back after his badge. Well, I don't even know. After France's bad Euro 2020 showing. But you know who had a good Euro 2020 showing? Harry motherfucking Kane.
Debatable.
I mean, yeah, he didn't, though.
Post-
He didn't really.
Post group stages.
He did. He
Congrats.
wasn't. He wasn't.
He
He still had
scored.
like 3 goals.
He scored against what was it, Ukraine
Twice.
and a penalty against Denmark that wasn't
That's
a
still
penalty.
3 goals. That's a solid outing. Okay, well, you could just mention that they nearly won it and that didn't come home anymore. It's still a better transition than Ocean's bullshit.
All right. Well, fuck you. All right.
Kane before,
Anyway,
but we
Harry
kind of
Kane.
perfect it.
We're-
Anyway,
yeah, we're talking about Kane now. So, For anyone who doesn't know, Harry Kane was due to.
Oh my
report
god, I
back
just
to
thought of a
training.
better one. Can I do my
No.
better one?
No.
Fine,
I could just say.
fine.
So speaking of N'Golo Kante, we're gonna take out the T. So Kane.
No, I fucking hate you so much right now. I can't believe I stopped what I was saying to hear that.
This is why
shit.
you're the pad.
Oh, God
I'm
damn
still a
it.
little bit salty after Ushi not trusting me earlier on. Not gonna lie.
Well, I think we're even now because I just hate everything about that.
Because it's so goddamn.
So Harry Kane was supposed to report back to training for Spurs last Monday. Yes, that's the one. And didn't show up. And reports going on all week about how Spurs were confused and angry about him just not showing up. And then on Friday, Harry Kane released on his Instagram, I think it was, or some social media anyway. He was like, "Oh, you've really hurt my feelings because I've been at this club since I was 13 or something, and I've always been professional, and now you've really hurt my feelings by calling me not professional, and I'm showing up tomorrow like I was originally supposed to." And I think that's bullshit.
I call that bullshit.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, of course it's bullshit. Harry
If-
Kane doesn't have feelings.
Ayo.
um,
No, that's not true. Other people's feelings he claims as his own.
oh, that's
He
fair. that's
swears
fair.
on his daughter's
But-
life.
To be fair, if he did think that there's a chance of him going to training would lead to him scoring goals in training, he would have gone. Would have gone.
I
think-
find
yeah, I
it
don't know what he was doing.
bullshit because if it was a bullshit, he was always going back Monday as is foretold. Why was when the story first broke? Why did Spurs say nothing? Why
In
was
the great
Spurs-
prophecies.
That's it. The great prophecies. Why did Spurs crush the story and say no, he's not you till
Yeah,
next
that's
week?
yeah.
Or
also a bit
why did
thing,
Harry
yeah.
Kane, with all the Spurs fan, returning him on the Friday, the week before, going, "You scumbag, absolute filth"? Or even there's clips of the Chelsea fans singing, "Where the fuck is Harry Kane?" Why didn't he say anything?
Or
Yeah,
why did it have to
there's-
happen
There's so many holes in that
the day
story.
that Pep Guardiola came out and said, "Yeah, if Spurs don't want to negotiate, then the transfer saga's over because we're not going for him." And then he went, "Oh no, I was supposed to be back tomorrow. Please forgive
If
me,
anything-
Spurs fans."
If anything, I would have been left if he just showed up to train and didn't make dudes said, "Yeah, so what? Own it." Just say, "Yeah, I tried to get a move, it didn't work," and just continue on. Not trying to lie, weasel your way back.
Because that would cause issues with the fans.
No,
Like,
fans are fickle. If he scores 3-4 goals, they'll be back on him.
I also think that would
Yeah,
cause
but
issues
it'll take
with
him,
his the loyalty bonus in his contract. If he came out and
Yeah,
said,
but he ain't getting
"I
the
was trying
loyalty
to
bonus
force a
anyway.
move," no, he
You
will.
think
As long as-
Levy's gonna give the loyalty?
No, Levy, he has to. As long as he doesn't actually request a trade or actually request a transfer or anything, then he's entitled to his loyalty bonus. The loyalty bonus is not something the club can go, I think I'll give you this. I might decide not to. That's
you
not how it
scored
works.
2 own goals this season. That's not very loyal.
That's not
I'm
very
taking
loyal.
your
You're not
loyalty
getting it.
bonus.
So tough shit.
I mean, missing training.
I mean, they can't take away his loyalty bonus for that. They could fine him, which I think they were planning to do, but I don't know if they did it in the end. I think Spurs dealt with it quite well, I suppose, because they were keeping everything in-house, internal. They didn't want to make it a media circus, unlike Harry
And yet
motherfucking
they
Kane.
did.
Well, while we're there, what do you make? Did City make the wrong signing in Grealish rather than Kane? What's your opinion?
Well, all the reports are that they're still planning to go for Kane. And that's why they didn't go in for Messi.
That's. I feel like they should have gone Kane before Grealish, just because I think they need a striker more rather than an extra midfielder.
I don't think they would have got Kane. Like, if they didn't take Grealish, I still don't. If they held off on buying Grealish, I don't think that would have had any effect on whether or not they were getting Kane. So I don't think. I don't think them going for Grealish. Yeah, the two are mutually exclusive. So I don't think there's any effect on either.
Well, no. So say they didn't go Grealish. The
Never.
Grealish deal never happened. So that's 100 million they have in the bag. And if they're still planning to go Kane, say they spent the 160 that's supposedly for Harry Kane, is what Danny Levy said is the figure. Would that have been the better signing because they have their striker rather than a Grealish who is the midfielder?
Yeah, but the reports are that they still have the 150 million, so it wouldn't make a difference, is what I'm saying. Every
Right.
report that I've seen is that they still have money set aside for Harry Kane that they're
I
still planning on getting him.
I saw that it was still well below the money they have left is still well below Spurs' asking figure. They're trying to hope that Levy, stupid, will lower his price,
Yeah,
which we
that's not
both know
gonna
won't happen.
That is not going to happen at all.
I've heard the interesting one on the latest rumors. They're offering Bernardo Silva as well as 100 million.
I had also heard that, which doesn't surprise me. But yeah, I don't know.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Is that because what's his face? The Portuguese manager is now in charge of Tottenham, and they're like, "Here's a Portuguese player to sweeten the deal."
You know, I never
Quite
actually thought about
possibly,
it like that.
actually, it would not surprise me. Hey, you like all those
Sweet young
Portuguese
Portuguese.
players at Wolves? We've got one
Yo,
here.
he's not Portuguese. Harry Kane. You
Oh,
get rid-
that's a fair point.
Well, wasn't
Just a straight
Harry
swap,
Kane-
please.
where was Harry Kane holidaying?
I'm not Was he in
Florida.
Portugal?
He was in Florida.
a bit
That's
far
what
away
I
from
saw. He
Portugal.
was in South
It
America
is.
for a bit.
It is a bit far from Portugal. I know he was in Florida for some of it. I don't know if he was there for the whole thing. But yeah. I think that's all the news
Really?
I had before I wanted to move
There's not
into,
one big one.
before I wanted to move into this one big
That
one.
was the last piece of news before we get to the next piece of news.
Yeah.
Stay with it, Mike.
Jesus, Mike, you gotta let me finish my sentences.
I mean,
Oh,
with your
God
transitions,
damn.
I don't know where you're going.
Yeah, it's hard to tell with you.
Some of them have been seamless. Just gonna throw that out there. So, Lionel Messi. The end of an era. How do we all feel?
Pretty good.
To be honest.
Never gonna see him in a Barcelona shirt again.
Yeah, but I enjoyed all the memes of all the random clubs and all the random sports going, oh, announce like Athlone Town announced a new signing and just put up a meme of Messi in a Athlone Town shirt. I did enjoy all those memes.
I enjoyed the one of Bows 2-1 down in the last week of the the Electricity League against the Dundalk. They make a sub. Who's that coming off the bench? It's Lionel Messi. Just the image that they'd keep him on the bench until they were 2-0 down with 10 minutes to go in the last game.
You have
It's like-
activated my trap card.
You fools. I think that was my favourite one.
I think the best way to describe Messi, and I find it hilarious, was it on Barcelona TV? They decided to show all of Messi's goals, and it started at 11:30 and ended at 4 a.m.
Jesus Christ. He scored
His
an
track record
insane
was
amount.
insane, though.
He scored an insane amount, like percentage-wise, of their goals.
Oh yeah, like there was always those stats that like Argentina and the Copa America, where it was like 70% of like Barcelona's goals had some involvement with Messi. Jesus Christ, he played 520 times for Barcelona and scored 474
Yeah.
times.
Yeah,
That's so many goals.
it's
Is that
sad
just
in a
in
way.
the league?
I have no idea. This is on Wikipedia, so probably not.
it's sad.
I have one
it's
here
sad.
that says he scored 671 goals in 778 games, which means if that's the case, and had 267 assists, which means that he would be responsible for 1 in 11 goals in the history of Barcelona.
That might be including his like Barcelona B and C and youth
Possibly.
things.
Isn't
Possibly, I'm
he-
not sure.
Isn't he, in terms of goal scorers, he's double? Is he either double or he's definitely more than the second and third all-time Barcelona top goal scorer combined? Still isn't even close to Messi.
Yeah, I
That's how
think
much.
it's
Like, most
just
likely.
insane. He's won 36.4% of all trophies Barcelona have won in their 122-year history have been when Messi was on the team. 36.4% is an insane amount when you think of.
Must say,
Jesus Christ.
I've seen him over the years, like the last few years. Like the image I have in my head is still from like when he first broke out in the late 2010s, when he
Long
literally
hair.
looked like a child.
Long hair, yeah.
With the long hair,
And, yeah, he's grown into a stern man with a beard now.
the depression beard.
I like the beard. I think it suits.
The image I have of Messi whenever I think of him now is him sitting on the ground as Robbo runs past him and just kind of shoves his head in it. Just the shithousery from Robbo. Andy Robertson. Just incredible.
That's
I-
very fair.
I do feel bad in a way where he's gone. If you think of this, where he's gone from his best high on finally winning an international tournament to a few weeks later, the boy club
Yeah,
because of financial reasons, not on his part.
Yeah,
especially
like
when
I
you
assume.
consider the fact that they had actually agreed on a 5-year deal, Messi and Barcelona, and they just weren't able to um to get it in with the financial regulations in La Liga. What do you
Yeah,
assume, Keane?
true. Oh fuck, I have no idea what I was gonna say. Oh wait, it's coming back to me.
Well, you know what they say about assuming.
This is what happens when you drink before a show.
I didn't drink. I've been on the water. I'm,
Ah, yes. The water.
Ronaldo
Here.
Good
and
save.
all that.
Yes, good save, Keith. We have to fact check this water.
Oh, got it now. I got it now. I remember it.
We
So
still
I
have
assume
enough.
that this couldn't have been terribly out of the blue for him. I assume even while playing for Argentina, he would have known it's very unlikely they'll play
No.
again for Barcelona, considering.
I would assume he had some inkling because the reports were around for a while that they weren't going to be able to sign him.
I mean,
Yeah.
he was told, he said, take this pay cut and then take another pay cut. Was it eventually $250,000 pay cut? Is
Like-
what he was off, he
Yeah,
accepted.
but I mean, he must have still known that there was the chance that they still couldn't sort it out.
I love their strategy of, okay, we just asked the league president to look the other way for a few seconds. He's like, no. Yeah, well, not even for Messi. Let's just look the other way as you sign him again.
It's fucking insane.
I did hear reports where they asking, I'm not 100%, but was Barcelona asking the rest of the league to help pay for Messi because he finances the La Liga teams with TV revenue?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that
Is what I
yeah,
heard, and I
I
was
wouldn't be
laughing.
surprised
That's so stupid.
because he is the
La Liga.
But like when you
last revenue went down when Ronaldo left, and it's going to go down even more now.
yeah, but I think it'll still be the league will still do it'll be fine. It'll survive.
It'll still be a top 5 league. But
I know.
there's less people watching it.
I know, actually, we were mentioning it yesterday when we were talking about Sergio Aguero. And everyone was saying, oh, he wants to leave his contract. And he's come out and said he does not, he wasn't leaving, you have him for the year.
Yeah.
Is that because he was injured? He's injured now for 10 weeks and he needs the payment.
I did see that today, but I think that was
Keep
I
running
think
live.
him wanting to leave was just bullshit. To be honest, I think that was a bullshit rumor set up by
Nothing to do with the
It could
But
have
injury.
been.
also, Keen, just to bring it back to your less people will be watching, it's interesting that ESPN signed a new TV deal with La Liga for I don't know how much it was, but like huge money last season when everyone knew that Messi was on his way out, and he could have even been out last season. You know, so obviously companies are still going to invest money into the league, and I think people will still watch it. I don't think it's going to suffer too much.
Fair.
But like,
Where do you,
Barcelona are fucking shit show at the moment.
where do you think he goes?
It's got to be PSG.
Going down.
I don't think it's anywhere. I don't think anyone else is in the
Not
running for
unless
it.
he takes the stupidly biggest pay cut of all pay cuts.
Yeah,
I
think
mean,
it's definitely going to be.
Hear me
PSG.
out here. Hear me out here. What team has done absolutely insane in free agency over the last 6 years? 7 years?
Fulham.
No.
Ah.
Juventus, possible team up with Ronaldo?
No, I don't think they can afford it.
That would be the greatest signing of all time, but I would agree. Like, I doubt they'd have the money for that. They wouldn't even take the money from FIFA, Football Manager, and all them.
They have, yeah, that's true. They have actually got Merlin Pjanic on loan though. I saw that today. So you know, big news. But
Pjanic, is that the Barcelona?
yeah, it's the player they sold to Barcelona for
Yeah,
60 million,
what?
and now
Ah,
they've got him
yes.
back on loan because
Oh, my God.
Ronald Koeman just doesn't like him apparently.
That
This
was
just
one
shows
of the
that
weird
Barcelona are
deals.
fucking
There
shit
she
show.
is.
But like
Yeah,
I saw,
to
be honest-
Laporta had a press conference a few days ago, and some of the stuff he said was just insane. Like the sports payroll for Barcelona is 110% of the club income. Without Messi, the wage bill is 95% of the club income,
Well, wow.
which is just insane. And last season they lost
Actually, like,
487 million euro last season. Like it's insane the amount of money
We
that
could
is.
do a whole episode on just Barcelona and mismanagement of that club.
Yeah,
True,
well, we really
true.
could. Like,
So-
we haven't even gotten into the La Liga financial
Nah.
regulations yet.
Are we talking about that now, or do we want to?
I mean,
I think
we're
we'd leave that for a whole episode.
we're
We're
45
like an hour.
minutes in, yeah. So we might just leave
And
that.
we
to-
haven't-
I mean, I have all the notes, so I could just talk about it properly next week or another week.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's just like it's insane.
Mm.
It is.
Another thing about Barcelona is that hold on, not last month, because I read this in July. So in like June or May, that's the one before July. They had an AGM where they admitted to having 1.3 billion euro in liabilities, and then at that AGM got permission from stakeholders to borrow another 525 million euro.
Fuck.
Like, that's just fucking insane to me. But yeah. I honestly could talk about
So much money.
Barcelona and La Liga's financial regulations for an entire show, and I think that
I'd be
we
okay
could
with
do
that as an
next week.
episode.
That's Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Spoilers for next week.
Could be surprise releasing that next Tuesday.
All right. So did anyone else have anything they wanted to say on the Messi situation? 'Cause
Not that it's getting very
a
messy.
bit of a messy situation.
Ah,
all right.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Both views.
We're
Oh
on
my god.
We're on the same. Great minds think alike.
I don't
Alright.
know.
I'm pretty happy with that one. All right. Let's seamlessly. What's the word?
Transition.
Transition.
Boom. Yes.
Can't even remember your word.
God, is she?
All right. Let's not seamlessly transition into our Premier League season preview. How we all
45
think.
minutes into the episode.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's the
Keep
whole
on.
point of this
Go.
episode. All right. How we all feel about the season coming up? Who's
I'm
excited?
actually excited.
I'm pretty excited. Keen, you excited?
I know
no.
Keith's not
Keith couldn't
excited
care
because
less.
he's gonna lose
Yeah.
he's gonna lose his weekends with us.
Yeah.
With matches on again.
I also have a bigger thing to pick with you now. I think the most common ad I see on Facebook now is Liverpool TV trying to sell me packages because
Yeah,
of how
I
much we
keep-
talk about Liverpool.
I keep getting that as well.
Wait.
So
don't
just
want
buy them,
this.
kid. Just buy them.
Yeah, just
Just buy LFC TV.
yeah, just get the preseason package. That's that's all anyone wants.
They're
Type
not a
in
sponsor
good
yet,
bad the mic
but
for
they will
free
be.
20% off.
Like, if they do that,
false
I would then,
advertising.
yeah, all day.
That's blatant false advertising.
Oh, absolutely. Please don't.
All right, let's get into it then. Who's
Yes.
favorite promoted team? We have got some interesting options here between Brentford, Norwich, and Watford.
As a favorite promoted team, stay up or go down?
Just your favorite team
Just
in
in
general.
general.
What do you?
Sure.
If you
Right.
had to pick,
I
if
like
you had to
Watford.
pick
Like,
one of
as-
those three teams to
start
support,
right.
who would you pick?
Norwich City.
Watford.
Oh, that's interesting. I went for Brentford. So we're all.
That is. Oh my god.
This is huge. All right. So
Yeah.
Right.
why Watford, Mike?
I'm a big Troy Deeney fan. The Hornets. When I think of Premier League, I think they've been there long, so I associate a lot with them being a Premier League team.
Right.
It's not really like they're okay, but I wouldn't count them as a Premier League team. They're more Championship to me. I know that's really bad, and I'm totally dissing on Keane's choice here.
And also, sorry to any Norwich fans that are listening.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm for any Norwich, but
These
for
are
me,
Mike's own views,
Watford-
and they don't
yes.
represent the views of the pod.
I need to stress. This is my. I guarantee Keane's only reason for Norwich is Delia Smith being drunk for that one video.
Okay. That's one of the reasons. That's not the only reason.
Name
But
of
it's
their
one of
stadium.
the other reasons.
Oh,
Name
fuck.
of their
Oh,
stadium.
I used to know this. It is.
What is their nickname?
Canaries.
Okay. you
Oh,
can
Carrow
tell me
Road,
there.
that's what it is. I may or may not be on their Wikipedia right now.
You could've
I
just-
knew the Canaries though. That one I
you
did know.
coulda
And
just
I knew
paid
Carrow
it
Road, but
off.
I wasn't gonna get
Yeah,
it.
there's no way I could have said.
What's the capacity of the stadium, Keane? Only a real fan would know that.
27,359. That's
Oh,
the capacity at Carrow Road.
According
But
to
no, right.
PremierLeague.com, it's 26,034.
Oh my god, there's
Oh.
a fucking X-Files on this. We need to get to the bottom of this. Maybe it's standing, and they can't do that in the Premier League.
Ooh.
Possibly.
Is that
Getting to the
counting
bottom.
I
Stewarts?
don't know. I don't.
Is it counting Stewarts?
How many
and other
stewards do you
help.
think they have?
How
I had to
how
say,
many stewards come into the stadium? Hey, Stewie.
Alright,
Sorry,
my
that was
other
a
reasoning.
disappointing joke, and I'm
Alright,
sorry.
I have two other reasonings.
can I guess it's Timo Pukki?
3 other reasonings.
Solid. Go on, what are they?
I did remember, I forgot about Timo Pukki. I do like Timo Pukki. Tim Krul being one of the best moments in a World Cup of all time. When he came
Guess
on for that
I
penalty
would
shootout.
have said that within you would have heard of
that's-
reasons.
I do
That's
love
fair.
that bit.
You're very
And
predictable.
I am. The other one is obviously they've got the 2 young Irish players who apparently are on their first team, Adam Ada and Andrew Omo Bamidele.
I think
Yeah,
there's
they got the young.
there's rumors about Adam Ida going elsewhere.
Okay, I have 2.5 reasons.
I think
You
he's
got one of my
being
only
included in a
well-known
player
Finnish people.
exchange, for someone else, but I
Are
can't
they-
remember who it is.
Are they getting an Irish player back? Is that the
I
player exchange? 1 for 1 on the
Don't
Irish
think
players?
So it's Adam Armstrong, a cash plus
Adam, he does.
player deal.
Very good, isn't he? Or he's supposed to be very good.
I think he looked good, to be honest, but I don't know. Like, he's only 20, to be fair.
True. Yeah.
Alright, let's see why.
Why
Right.
Brentford?
Yeah,
You say?
yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Yes, Brentford.
I love it. It's a bit of an underdog story, isn't it? It's the first time it's their
it?
first time in the top division in 74 years. They finally made it
Really, I
back.
could have sworn they were in a few
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
They've been doing really well using the Moneyball analytics stuff. You know, picking really.
This guy
getting-
gets up the pitch a little bit more.
Yeah, no, but it's like they've been bringing in really cheap players and developing them and using all like really detailed analytics, and it just seems really interesting. And also, Ivan Toney had an incredible season last season, scoring 32 goals.
I will say I am a big fan.
Fair.
It's something that is refreshing that when I asked him what is the goals for Brentford this season, he straight up said win the Premier League. And
Yeah,
I'd say
I fucking like it.
that's what
Do
I
you
do
think-
miss is every team should have their goal as win the Premier League. I hate when someone says start season, top 10 finish. Like, no, your aim is to win the tournament,
No,
is
no,
to
no,
win
no, no.
something.
I agree, but not to that extent. I agree that their goal should be win the Premier League, but that should be a 5 to 10 year goal for any team outside of the top 3 or 4.
I mean, if you
You
enter
should be
something,
working towards that.
No, Brentford.
if you
won it
enter
this
something,
year.
you go to win it. That's what I say. If you don't win it,
Build
that's
to
fine.
win
But
it.
I think
Nah.
every time you enter
Because
something,
if
you
you
gotta
go
win it.
to win it, that just means you're going to get relegated this year because you're going to make some bad decisions.
Hey, if Ivan Toney can get another 32 goals this season, they'll be in a good spot. They'll be in a good
Yeah.
spot to win.
I'm honestly looking at this Brentford team. I do not think I recognize a single player, which is weird because I only recognize a few. But this Brentford team,
I can show you many teams in the Premier League, and I you'd recognize a few.
that's an interesting show, and I'm genuinely curious.
That is an interesting
That's
segment.
it.
And, right, let's make a note of that. And we'll come back to that at a later date.
All right, no cheating, no looking at Wikipedia.
I won't. No, I genuinely won't look up anything.
All right, I'm
This
pretty.
is
I'm
interesting.
going to be interested in that.
What's the
um,
spread? 5 to 10 teams.
We'll have to
I honestly, most Premier League teams, I imagine I'd recognize at least one
Okay,
name.
so there's 20 teams, and you think you can recognize a name on each. One. Team.
I'd say I
well,
could confidently
19
get
now
to
because we have
50.
to
Okay.
take out Brentford.
Yeah,
Yes,
fair.
I think I
I-
can get 3 or 4 teams. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't go. You'd be no.
I'm
No.
actually,
Right, so you're about
yeah,
to
I
say,
could
you're about to
definitely
say
say.
estimation.
Yeah.
To be fair,
yeah, that's we're not far off.
Yeah.
I'm so interested in this.
it's an
All right,
interesting one to
next
go
week.
for. Next week's jam-packed already. We've got a
yes,
financial
2 weeks.
regulations
Alright,
and
All right, how does this affect me putting together a fantasy team? Do I do
Oh,
it blindfolded?
oh, that's a good point actually. All
right,
right,
how
you just
about-
have to Scouts honor. You didn't recognize any of these players before you built your fantasy team.
Yes.
I'll try and stick to that.
Or
Scouts
or
on.
do we
Scouts
do
on.
it quickly instead of a news segment next week and then go straight to Barcelona?
But I mean,
Oh,
he
he's
lives
doing
still,
the fancy.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's still,
Yes, he's still doing the fancy.
God damn it.
Do we record it as a special thing on a Friday?
a special pre-Premier League episode.
When is the
Fans-
first Premier League game?
Friday
Friday night.
night. That's it. A special fancy football Friday
Oh,
night.
bad. Tempting.
Oh,
Tempting.
maybe I just skipped the first week to get Mike that might have a little comfort,
Give
and then
him
I
a
catch
head
him up on the.
start.
Yeah, give him a head start. He needs a head start.
I mean,
Week 2, he fucks it up.
I'm not gonna lie. With the whole fantasy, I was gonna try a new strategy of just pick Oshin's team and just put in every player he takes out.
That was my strategy.
The issue with
I
that,
think he
though,
would
is
do that.
that you won't know until after the week.
But if you tell us, would that not be interesting?
I'm
Because
not
then you
gonna
could see
tell
how
you.
many points. No, but then
Yeah.
you at the end of the season, how many points you would have gotten if you made those decisions compared to what you did.
I won't tell you, but I'll keep a track of it. That actually does sound quite interesting, and I will keep a track of it. Cause all right. I'm down for that.
Oshin's players versus the one he got rid of. Who wins?
That actually does sound
Where were
really
we?
interesting. I'm definitely keeping track of that now. All right.
Oh,
I'm going to
Brentford,
regret
yes.
this at the end of the season. But no, that was pretty much all I had to say about Brentford, to be honest. I really like their
Alright.
Moneyball analytics tactics, and
I might look
hope
into
they
that
do
because I
well.
do enjoy overly analytical.
Spoiler alert: they're my top pick for going down.
Yeah, you're a scumbag. So, all right. In that case,
Yeah, they did.
so I didn't pick a team to go down. I just took a team to take a step down, who I thought would not do as well this year.
Ah,
as
that's
they
not
did
what
last
you
year.
said.
No, it
That-
is.
That's
the
what you said.
pretext.
That is
The
exactly
pretext
what
was
I
who
said.
go down. No, Keith,
I
back
think
me
you'll
up here.
find. I think you'll find. I actually will get the message right here. Oh, fuck off, Discord. I believe it was teams or players we expect to make a step up or step down. Players can't
There you
get
go.
relegated individually. So the inference was not who did we think would get relegated.
All right, Oshin, enough of your
No, I'm
bullshit.
just
Who's taking a step down to the
I
championship?
No,
I
I don't
mean-
know. I don't know about that.
This
I
was
had,
mentioned yesterday in chat, not text, but not point.
What was mentioned yesterday in chat, not text? What?
When I in pre-production meetings, when I said what are we doing, you were, oh yeah, just like team to go down. We're getting to semantics.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We could
Yes.
discuss what you had actually planned for.
Yeah.
So, Oshin,
Let's just
step
say
down.
there was a gentleman's agreement that we said we will be
Just let it
relegated
go.
teams.
There was no. Mike, you're an idiot. You should have just read what I put in the fucking Discord. Because that's
Gentleman's
what we were doing.
agreement exists. There was a gentleman's agreement.
Ah, fuck you.
Don't you envy me.
I swear to God. I'm going to kick Keane out of this podcast for his fucking Kante Kane transition earlier.
That
I'm
was
going
the
to
best
kick
transition
you out
we
of
had
this podcast for
tonight.
this. It's just going to be me from now on.
Oshin talking about Tom Hardy.
and La Liga's financial regulations. I have the notes for it. I'm going to talk about it. So the team that I said would take a step down this year was West Ham, because they finished 6th last year, which I think was a huge overachievement for them. But also
Mhm.
their squad is quite old actually when you look at it. And I am sorry I don't mean to offend anyone who's around that age, but it's old for a professional football team. They've got
But careful here. I
quite a
still have
number
hopes
of,
and dreams.
quite a number of 31-year-olds, and
That's okay.
I'm sorry to anyone who's around that age, but you're past your peak for a professional football career, and you've just got to come to terms with that now.
I mean, I would agree with that. I
But
thought
it is
West Ham
it's a quite old.
overage
Yeah, it's quite old.
last
squad.
season. No one expected West Ham to do as well as they did.
They've also this year got Europa League distractions, which is just going to take more out of an older squad than it would out of a younger squad. So I think they're going to struggle this year, which I don't mind because I'm indifferent to West Ham.
I
in
like them,
general.
but it's all because of Green Street Elite. That's the only reason.
You're forever blowing bubbles.
Forever, yes.
Go on, Mike.
If
who
I
do you
so
think
high,
is-
they reach the
so
sky.
Why do you think Brentford are going to get relegated?
I honestly think it's over the 38 games. I think they will just not have the score. I know it says Norwich have an advantage of they've been in the Premier League before. They know what it is to be in a fight. This will be
They
Brentford's
have
first time in the
experience.
Premier League. That they'll be, ooh, hang on a minute. It's not. It is a different league compared to the Championship. As a Championships, I would say it's harder to win the Championship than it is to win the Premier League. I would say that as an next Championship, you see the results. They go anywhere. Premier League, it's kind of the top teams tend to be
Well, like,
the
Yeah,
top
but
teams
that's-
will win
You
out.
still have
Championship
results that go all over the place, though.
Like
But it's not as
the
sparse
championship
as it is
doesn't have the same
championship.
kind of like longevity. Like nobody's winning the champion back to back because you physically
That's
can.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
you have seven
it's different
new
teams.
teams, 7 new teams
Yeah.
each season because 4 get relegated and 3 get promoted.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think obviously the glamour and all of the Premier League, it could have. We don't know how these players are going to act. We don't know. I'm not sure if the squad of Brentford, but how many have played Premier League football before?
I have
If
no
any.
idea.
Well, I know
I
you
don't,
don't.
I don't know off the top of my head.
I'm gonna start
I'm
looking
asking-
at random ones.
Cheers, Kevin. I don't know off the top of my head.
Nope.
But,
I think experience is on Norwich's side. I think Norwich could stay up. I think they're going to do what Burnley did a few years ago.
David
Right.
Raya played for Blackburn. No idea if they were in the Premier League at the time.
that's
No.
useless to us.
Yeah.
Okay,
you
hang on,
remember
hang
when?
on. No, Well, he was there. They were between Championship and League One. So that's.
You are really selling yourself as a fact checker.
I mean, I
forgot
can't check
they
facts
have,
up. Players I don't know.
I forgot they have Rico Henry, who was a FIFA 19 wonder kid in my career mode. Just throw that out there.
Right.
He did
Can I
bits,
just point out?
did bits in the
Richard,
Premier
are
League.
you on? Are you on Wikipedia for Brentford right now?
No, I'm on the Premier League's website for Brentford.
Okay, well, just look up Charlie Good, who plays for Brentford. The photo they have on Wikipedia it's just.
I mean, surely he will be who's listening
They
should look it up.
We should look it
Instead
up.
of just
It's just
It's
a
quite
grey
dis-
outline on the Premier League one. So if you're going to look it up on Wikipedia.
On Wikipedia,
there's-
it is quite the photo. I think. Kind of looks like he's trying to take a shit mid-match. I'm just saying it.
Oh, it does. Yeah, I could see that. All right then, Keane. Who did you have a team to take a step down?
I was just having a look there, and for my small bit of knowledge,
Yes.
I would go
Yes.
with because of apparently what's his face Nuno.
Wolves.
Yes. Well,
He was
Spurs
quite the
now.
manager, and he's no
So-
longer there anymore. So
no, he's talking Wolves. To
Ah,
go
yes,
down.
he's talking about Wolves.
yeah,
to
Wolves
take a step
because
down.
not at Wolves anymore. They could
Yes,
take a
yes,
step
yes,
down.
yes. Yeah.
I mean, when
It's
Jimenez
an
is back,
interesting
though.
idea. Jimenez is back. And
Yes.
Apparently doing very well in preseason.
And depending on if they can keep their Portuguese together and strong.
I think it's a very, very good move for them to get in as many Portuguese players as they can. Because hear me out here, right? When I used to play Gaelic football back in the day, and we used to obviously communicating with each other on the field, we could do it in Irish, and the other teams could. The other teams had to do it in English. So we knew what they were saying, but they didn't know what we were saying. So if they get all Portuguese players and then non-Portuguese players to learn Portuguese, that's just.
They can get the job.
It's
I mean,
just a
it
massive
is easier.
advantage.
It is
Mm.
easier for the team as there's less non-speaking Portuguese players on the team than there is Portuguese-speaking players.
Wolves finished 13th though last year. Like
I think they'll do better.
Yeah.
rather than
All right, shitting ideas, and I don't care.
Sorry, Keane.
Keane.
Think you're wrong on
Okay,
that one.
Keane.
I'm using
uh,
my advice. I really hope that they go down, and then whoever you pick Brentford win the league or something like that. That'd be fantastic.
Brent-
Honestly, I
Brentford
think-
win
I
the
think- I
league,
think we
Keane.
should
Put money
definitely,
on it right now.
We should
Put
take notes
20
on this
grand.
and come back to it at the end of the year and go, all right, who was
Oh
right,
my
who was
God.
wrong?
We should definitely do a review of this, and we listen back to it live, and then we talk about how much shit that we all said about all the random things.
I'm down for that. End of the
Alright.
season. Put it in your diary.
So
now,
wait,
folks.
we're doing our overreacts, our straight up our call shots.
Oh my God, I'm so excited for that.
All right, and then who did you have to make a step up? Did you pick a
I
team from the
have-
championship to get promoted? Because if you didn't, then you've defeated your own argument on step down. Just saying.
Well, no,
Yeah.
maybe, but it's Premier League,
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. But it was teams or players to make a step up or step down.
All right, semantics
So
aside, I don't care. Who'd you?
Go on, Mike. Who'd you pick?
I picked Harvey Elliott to make a huge step up this year
Yeah, fair.
for Liverpool. Now, here's the
oh,
stats from Blackburn last year.
I had
He
Harvey
had
Kinkle in my
played
head from Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
41 matches, 7 goals, and 11 assists. I think he's only 18 now. And watching him this preseason, he's been very impressive. And I think he'll make a huge step up. I'm not saying he's going to be, young player in the league and he's going to play every single game. But I think he'll play a lot of games this season.
I think he will.
And
I think he definitely will play a relatively big role, and I'm really interested to see how he does. I think he's a very good young player.
I think he is. I am going to call it now. We'll see. Yeah, this is my big prediction. In 5 years, he'll be a top Premier League player. I'm calling it now.
All right, so in 5 years, we have to come back to that one.
That's it.
Yeah, that's for the 5-year review.
All right, god damn it. Keane, did you have a team or player to make a big step up?
Yes.
Go on.
Kante without the T because he's going to go from Tottenham to City. That's a big step up in my opinion.
If he goes from Tottenham to City.
If he goes. Now we have to review next week.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
They are playing each other this weekend, aren't they?
They are, yeah. I doubt
they
they'll
are.
be involved. If there's
there's
negotiations,
one half for
if
one.
there's negotiations going
The
on,
other
he's
half
not
of the
going
other
to be
team,
involved.
winner
in
gets
either.
him.
Yeah, Nuno said he's playing. He can play.
Yeah,
saw that
so
much.
if I think if he plays, it's a sign that he's not going to City. Personally, that'd
Yeah.
be my view. But yeah, if he doesn't, I think you can probably guess that he's going to City. So it's very interesting to see whether he will play or won't play. The team I have to take a step up is Aston Villa. Despite losing Jack Grealish, they finished 11th last year and have made a number of signings already this year. They've brought in, we talked about Danny Ings, and we've talked about how good he was. So he's a huge bonus. They brought in Buendia from Norwich, who played 39 games in the Championship last year and finished with 15 goals and 17 assists.
I mean, Keane already knew this.
Which is,
Of course,
it's a fantastic input.
Definitely
And
was paying attention there.
They also bought Leon Bailey from
Leon Bailey.
Leverkusen.
Another fancy player I picked.
Really?
I have 2 Aston Villa players in my fantasy.
What price is Bailey at?
6.5, I believe.
Not too bad. 9 goals and 9 assists from 30 games in the Bundesliga last year. So yeah, I think they'll definitely finish higher than 11th, and I'll be very interested to see how well they do.
John Terry leaving the club. Who knows? The players might relax a bit more knowing their wives are safe.
The important things.
That's
They
it.
won't have to worry about it anymore.
That's it.
But that's who I had anyway.
That's a good shout. I think I can see them doing well.
I do look forward to looking back at these.
Alright,
what's your
opinions
top
at the end
4?
of the season?
All right, big one, top 4.
In order or just
Go in
any
order. Go on, because we're doing review. See how wrong.
All right. Off the top of my head, this is unprepared because someone didn't suggest it
As
when
he
I
takes-
asked for.
as he takes the sheet out of his pocket.
Well, no,
Yeah.
I mean,
Unprepared.
just saying, I asked for ideas for other things to talk about in this, and I don't think this was brought up.
Hey, when creativity sparks, you can't force it. Just happened.
All
you
right.
know,
This is what you call a seamless transition.
Or you would have if someone wasn't a drama queen.
Yeah, I know.
I think.
Or you can only have opinions when you give them 2 hours to prep.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's why the Barcelona thing's been postponed.
Hey, I was fucking ready for that, and you guys just chatted shit for too long.
Yes, we did. Go
yeah,
on.
it was definitely just you. I think I'm gonna be a bit biased and say Liverpool first, City second. I think Chelsea will come third. I think there'll be a big gap between the top 3 and United in 4th, probably. But I think there'll be a big gap between the front 3 and the rest. So I think Chelsea are looking good. I think actually, okay, there'll be a big gap between the front 2 and Chelsea, and then another big gap between Chelsea and the rest. That's my prediction.
Okay.
What's yours?
I'm going City. I think squad over 38 games. I think they have to. They'll probably win it. I think it'll be close. I think they'll pip Liverpool, who will come second. I think Chelsea will also be a close third, and then I say United will have to just edge top four. I think Leicester miss out again.
I think Leicester just miss out. I think they come fifth.
I don't think they'll do it 3-for-3, miss out in the final game of the season.
That'd be so unlucky.
I think they'll be beaten well,
Yeah.
and they'll miss out. Dean,
All right, I'm having to think about this.
go wild card. Just absolutely.
I am. I'm going to go City to win it because that's just you have to go with that.
Brentford to win the league.
I considered it, but what I do think is that when Harry Kane leaves, Tottenham are going to use that to spur themselves to a second place finish.
Oh, I
my
like what you
God.
did there. To spurs themselves to a second
Didn't
place
even that
finish.
was completely accidental, but I like it.
That's
then we'll put United a distant third, and then Leicester to pip Liverpool for fourth on the last day of the year.
That's
But not
interesting.
Chelsea either.
Chelsea
You
nowhere.
don't-
Chelsea nowhere in the top 5.
No.
That's interesting.
That's a Tuchel sack. That's a Tuchel sack.
Hey, it wasn't me. It was him that finished sixth.
That's a shout, dude.
Yeah,
Swear to God,
that's-
if this works out, I'm gonna be.
I'd be very
I mean, you
interested
called
to
it.
see how
We
close
got
you
the
get at
proof.
in the end of in our end of season review. I'd be
Yeah,
very
our end
interested
of
to see
season
how
review.
it comes out.
That's it. This is
Alright.
why he's North Macedonia's top foreign sports pundit.
I know. Oh God, I actually might get a contract out of this if it works out well for me. I'm just saying.
All right. Well, I
Just
think
wing
we've
it.
covered everything. I am really looking forward to this season, though, and I think it's
It
gonna
is.
It's going to be a very interesting season.
It is. Just the small things when you get your match of the day comes back. You get the Roy Keane, Mika Richards partnership going.
Did any of
Gary
you
and
see
Jamie.
the match of the day thing that annoyed all the match of the day fans last few weeks when they realized they shot it in front of a green screen and people feel like they've been lied to
I
for like
mean,
20 years?
No, I've always. You'd
I mean,
have to notice that was
you'd
green
have to
screen.
notice. Yeah, they have all the graphics come up behind them.
I mean, I have no idea.
Like that one time Gary Lineker wore the green pants and he had his boxers on. Like it was there.
Yeah, I definitely did not realize that this was a green screen when I used to watch match of the day.
God damn it,
Really?
Keane.
It looked like they have a TV behind them. That's very plausible.
That's
also
actually
like-
that's a fair point.
Yeah, but wait, but is the TV behind him, is that not just a TV that they have behind?
No, apparently not. It's all just full green screen. I didn't really look into this. Maybe.
You know.
Who knows?
The way that the chairs green screen, they're just squatting.
Yeah, they're just squatting. Yeah, they're proper squat. Chinese
No,
squat.
no. They're green screen as well. They're not even there.
It's just Gary Lineker in a room
Just on his own. He's actually locked in that room.
by himself.
Apparently,
He-
from what I've
he
heard,
doesn't- he does, yeah. He just never
from
leaves that
apparently
room.
they start like they watch matches live. They do the whole thing shebang. They watch every game live. They started like recording at, well, they start working at 3 o'clock or so. Watch all the games, take all their notes, have dinner and everything in the studio. And on Sundays it's a roast. I find that amazingly
That is
interesting.
pretty fucking hype.
That is quite cool. Do you ever try and watch like Focus when they used to run that when the matches were going on,
Yeah.
but they didn't have the broadcasting rights, so they couldn't show them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was just people talking about that used to irritate me.
I
I
mean,
was like, show me
I
the
enjoy it.
goals.
I did used to enjoy Gillette Soccer Saturday.
Yeah, that was good. I enjoyed that as well. Waiting for the table to pop up so you could see. But I'd have to fucking
result.
rotate through all of the different results and all the different tables.
Or
and you'd be
they
like,
usually
Oh,
they love to
yes.
milk it, and there's a goal. Who's it gone to? And you're like, oh my god, just come on. Waiting for the score to pop up.
Off. Has there?
I still know. So come off again. God, that is just like
More Cammy.
yeah.
Incredible.
Does he still do it?
He's still there.
I think
I
so.
believe
Oh,
it.
what a legend.
I don't know. He'd be missed if he wasn't, though.
That
Right.
is true.
We'll leave it there. So, yeah. Does anyone else have anything to say before we finish up?
No.
No creativity. No more
No,
sparks. I
no,
think we're
that's
good.
what happens.
All right,
Yeah,
all the
when you
sparks are gone.
kill the
Sparks are
Solid,
gone.
solid, good.
Ushin's fault. You killed it all.
Yep.
Intentionally.
All right,
it's,
Ushin. Seamlessly transition to the end now.
Yeah.
all right, I will. We'll leave it there. Feed the algorithm.